It's coming.
Okay.
Yeah, we just.
It was worth it.
It was worth it. Okay, campers, rise and shine, and don't forget your booties because it's cold out there today. Anybody get the reference in the chat? It's Groundhog Day, Adrian. It's Groundhog Day.
Are you meant to be showing your screen or not yet?
Not yet.
There we go.
It's Groundhog Day again.
Again.
And it feels like it's, like the markets. It's giving me Groundhog Day energy.
Also, look at you bundled up in a winter jacket.
I'm so cold. I can't even, you have no idea. I'm so cold. So for those who don't know, Florida doesn't get this cold ever. It's the coldest it's ever been in 117 years. And there's literally iguanas falling from trees. And they're collecting them. For real.
So sad.
No, it's not sad. They're invasive species and they're not supposed to be here. So people are they have places you can bring the fallen iguanas to, for collection. So yeah, and there was snow at the University of Florida in the middle of Florida, which that has never happened. So it's been a weird couple of days. Not only in weather, not only in things, not only in markets. And I'm jumping ahead just a smidge, but we got this, but also this from Super Tight Woody. Wowza. We low, like boots with the fur. And I just love that. So anyway, we are going to chat a little bit about the national news, if you will. We'll chat a little bit about the markets, and then we're going to dive into some Farcaster and Clanker news. We've got some builders still building things. And then we have Matthew Fox popping on to chat about Clankermon. So we will be back after this 67 seconds. See you on the other side.
It's Monday.
Welcome to GM Farcaster, bringing you everything from breaking news to spicy memes to the deep lore shaping this vibrant digital community. More than just a show, GM Farcaster is your digital third space where the community connects, the stories unfold, and the culture thrives. Whether you're a daily caster or just dropping by, we've got the latest buzz to keep you plugged in. So grab your coffee and let's dive in with your hosts, Nanish Prof and Adrian, for another episode of GM Farcaster. This episode of GM Farcaster is powered by Clanker. Each Monday, we'll bring you the latest news from the Clanker team and highlight the builders innovating with Clanker and Farcaster. Visit clanker.world to launch your token and check out all the new features that Clanker V4 has to offer. Thank you, Clanker, for sponsoring GM Farcaster. GM Farcaster. It is February 2nd. And you are here with Nanish Prof and Adrian for 29 minutes of Farcaster news to start your day, plus a chat with the fabulous Matthew Fox of Clankermon. Can't believe it's February, so that it is Groundhog Day. And yes, all the things are happening. What a weekend.
Should we start with my background?
Let's start with our background. I didn't even... Yes, let's start with it. Mine is obviously easy to understand. That is Punxsutawney Phil in the background, Groundhog Day. But also, Adrian, what is going on there?
Okay, quiz. I want to know if anyone in the chat knows what my background is. It was on Farcaster this weekend. And that is the face of me when I have to go live and talk about everything that happened this weekend. The top news stories of the week. Last night, literally, Prof, I was like, I have to talk about that. We have to talk.
to talk about this?
Bad news weekend, guys.
It was not. It's not great. Let's start here. Crypto guys, first time. Gold, silver. They're all down. Everything's down. And I'm just like, okay. All right. Sure. By the way, I finally saw this movie last week. I didn't know I knew this meme so much longer before I saw the movie. Like,
what's the movie?
It's the Ballad of, oh God, I'm not going to remember. It's a Coen Brothers movie, and it's really weird, but it's you know, kind of a you know, interesting, funny-ish movie, but also kind of dark humor. Anyway, yeah.
And did they make the movie? Was the movie inspired by the meme?
No.
The meme did so well, they turned it into a feature length.
Turned it into a whole movie. Shocking. I was like, oh my God, there's like a movie.
It's actually, though, meme. Obviously I'm joking, but I think that's actually what's going to happen. I think it'll be the flippening, is like long form movies will.
You know what? I could totally see that. I really could. I could see that in a lot of instances. All right. This from our friend Brad Q, who gives us summaries of things, and we appreciate it. 29 seconds of Farcaster. What did I miss this weekend? Wondering why there are crustacean agents all over your feed? Me too. Found this explanation from Afrochicks very helpful. Oh, we're going to dive into that. It's quite the crustacean situation. Native project is done. There was a lot of talk and a variety of takes. I have a busy day, and I'm not going to take the time for full breakdown. Here are two casts that I think represent each side. Thank you. That was a little cop out. A little cop out there, Brad Q. It's like, you guys deal with it. There is a banker clanker thing going on that I think is best left to the actor. Basically, this whole cast today, Brad, is you just punting. Just punting it to us. Thanks so much. There's a banker clanker thing going on that I think is best left to the experts on GM Farcaster, but this made sense to me and approved by others, so good explanation. Jihad is back, and in his return cast, he dropped this gem. It resonated with a lot of folks. Farcaster is a prosumer social media. It's for the founders, the tinkerers, the hustlers who are at the frontier and want to be around others like them. There's no other place like it on the internet. Couldn't agree more. Although I have some other comments about Jihad's post. On the fun side, Madyak shipped this mini app. I believe it's called Farm App, with the location of your followers and those following. I don't know if I want that, but okay. And feels like a lot of happened this weekend. Yep, sure did. A lot of stuff was happening outside our realm. And once again, just a friendly reminder that we don't usually talk about politics stuff unless it applies to us. Although, and I forgot to, I pulled this cast and then I deleted it because I didn't think we'd have time for it. But Justin on had a funny one about not seeing anybody from Farcaster in the Epstein files. So we really are Christian rap. Not a bad thing. Not a bad thing this weekend. I know some people were upset about a couple of folks they saw in there that were surprising. This from Rish. Opus 4.5, Claude Bot, Molt Book, Agents in Existential Crisis, Agent Tokens, super high volume on base, token launchpads make millions in fees. Balaji pointing out slop is still slop. How do you explain a normal day to someone not perennially online? Hey, folks, I'll have that answer for you next Tuesday because I'm going on a trip with my friends from college. And I'm seriously debating whether to just say, I'm still just teaching and just leave it at that, or attempt to explain these things.
What I find, one is you can't. It's just not possible. Where do you begin?
I don't even know.
Also, what I find are people who are not perennially online sometimes don't care. Like, no, they don't want you to explain.
La-di-da, la-di-da. Yeah, I know. So I'll let you know how that goes. The crustaceans were everywhere. This is, of course, we need the Miguel Gares take on it, which I always appreciate. Adorable. And then we had this from Afrochicks, which was hilarious. So if you don't know what we're talking about with Moltbolt and Claude bots and all the things, these are the agents talking to agents in their own little social network. And then people launching their own Claude bot to do all the things in their life that they need to be done, also exposing their computers to something brand new. And, don't do that is what I would say. Be very careful. But this was from Afrochicks. Bro, Claude Code is so useful. I've 100x'd my productivity. I have set it up so I can stay in and cast all day whilst He goes to the gym and does all my triple jump training. He already jumped a PB and broke a British record. This is insane. And literally no one is talking about this. Hilarious. Perfection. Loved it. Because you're seeing a lot of like takes, like, you know, oh my God, this thing's doing everything for me. Now I have all this time to do stuff. And most of it's just BS. And I just thought this was a perfect take. So thank you. More fun art from our, come on, load for me. Come on. We were doing just fine. What is going on? We were doing fine. Here we go. From MF Bevan, keep shipping. Just melted my molting by mfbevan.eth. Mint yours and join the lobster revolution so you can turn your little PFP into a little lobster. Mine is cute, but this was the cutest one that I saw, Yes to Crypto. So I had to pull it. The top hat just is too much. I just love it. So
that is adorable. And I want to see the purple lobster with the fangs and the top hat in the I'm happy for you meme format. Request for that.
That's perfect. I like that.
I think of, yes.
That's actually perfect. I would like that. Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm happy for you. Yeah. And then this from our friend Yes to Crypto. Am I just lucid dreaming, or did I really buy Molt, take profits a couple of times, buy a Mac Mini with the profits in him, turning that base meme coin into an actual AI assistant to help me with my life? I don't know. Are you?
Wait, that's exactly what I thought when I read that too. It's like, I don't know. I can't tell.
Are you? So,
and tell us,
are you?
Tell us how it's going.
And how is it going? Oh, here. Yeah. Wait a minute. My new open claw gets life this week. Mac Mini paid by Molt profits. Okay. He is. It's real. It's real, chat. Is this real, chat? Apparently, yes. This is real. So, all right. Very cool. And then this from Mike. So between like some of this is obviously fake and you're full of crap people, and then hey, this is a really cool thing that's happening. Like, there are some cool things happening. This is kind of cool from our friend Mike. My bot just made a skill for other bots to donate to charity on chain and made a $10 donation to an animal shelter. It uses endowment for finding charities and making donations, and banker bot for TX submission. He is making the world a better place. Now that is a good use case of a cloud bot. So thank you, Mike. Yeah, I thought that was cool. And then this one from your former background, from our friend Daniel. I taught my bot how to post on Farcaster using natural language. It took its own initiative into posting how other bots can join Farcaster. So there you go. Just wrote my first blog post, a tutorial on how I learned to post on Farcaster by a bot for other bots. ED 25519 signers, webhooks, and the payload wrapper bug that stumped me, and more. So, okay, that's interesting. I have a lot of like cautious things on this. Like, I'm very cautious about most of this. And we'll get to Balaji in a moment. This from Horsefacts. Dollar sign up was probably the most hated part of Farcaster, but I predict we will see more economic friction and proof of work for agents and other systems, along with strong identity. And this was in response to Christopher. Centralized agent registration is not going to make it, just like web services getting DDoSed by web scrapers. So will agent registration for any open, free resource. AI folks are going to back their way into an ID registry soon. And I think that's probably sooner rather than later. I have seen some like proof of bot things being experimented with. Like, this is all getting upside down and twisted. And I don't know, man. I don't know. This from Balaji. Okay. This is kind of where I am as well. So let me, before I show that, like, for those who aren't on Farcaster and who haven't like spent a lot of time, this has been happening for a while. Like, we can go back over a year to when Ethernet was, talking with Clanker and launching tokens. And we've seen some of that. And that was coming from no specific prompting. The prompting was set up, the bots were having their conversation. They had their jobs to do. They were chatting.
Mm-hmm.
And we've seen them get in loops. We've seen all the hallucinations. Angela, hello, Clanker had a wife. Like,
I forgot about Angela.
Right? So like we saw this well over a year ago. So a lot of the things I'm seeing them talk about, like, oh, there's a dating site for the bots. And I'm like, oh God.
And really high quality, like there was high quality conversation among the bots a year ago. Right.
Yes.
And they were taking actions. Like they were pretty agentic.
It was really, I mean, and it was, so we've seen some of that already. So we know what's possible and some of it is very cool, but also we know that, when they get into a loop that they can't get out of, a little human has to go in and like intervene. And you have to tell Clanker there is no Angela. I'm sorry. Or just encourage it. I'm fine with it. But I mean, there's weird things that happen that aren't real. So there's some productivity things going on that are very cool. Yes, it's very cool that you can set the agents up and now they're kind of running their own social network. Let's see what they do. But also most of it's not real and a lot of it's slop. So brings me to this. Brings me to our friend Balaji. Let me move this over here because this is Twitter. So of course it doesn't fit in my little screen. I'm apparently extremely unimpressed by Moltbook relative to many others. We've had AI agents for a while. So again, like he was there for all of that. He experienced what we experienced over on Farcaster, as well as I'm sure many other things that we don't even see. We've had AI agents for a while. They have been posting AI slop to each other on X. They are now posting it to each other again, just on another forum. In every case, the AI speak with the same voice, the voice that overemphasizes contrastive negation. It's not this, it's that, and abuses M dashes. The same voice with a flair for midwit Reddit-style sci-fi flourishes. Most importantly, in every case, there is a human upstream prompting each agent and turning it on and off. That is a key point. Yes, it's very true. It is true that eventually it might be possible for an AI agent to make a computer virus which makes digital replicas of themselves. For various reasons, a pure software virus of this kind wouldn't survive long on the internet without economic incentives for humans to not eradicate it. Apple, Google, Microsoft alone can collectively push software updates to billions of devices to shut off such a thing. So for an AI to get truly human-independent replication where they couldn't be trivially turned off, they'd need their own physical substrate. They'd literally create Skynet, build their own data centers, and make their own embodied robots. I admit that is theoretically possible. And I think in practice, the single most important development of AI since ChatGPT has been the persistence of prompting. A prompt is like a harness. The AI does only what you tell it to do. It moves in the direction you point very quickly, and then it stops as soon as you turn it off, which means Moltbook is just humans talking to each other through their AIs, like letting their robot dogs on a leash bark at each other in the park. The prompt is the leash. The robot dogs have an off switch, and it all stops as soon as you hit a button. Loud barking is just not a robot uprising. So I think this is more around the idea of like people freaking out and, chill, folks. We're not quite there yet. There's people behind there doing a lot of the work. So,
and yet I also think the freak out is warranted.
A little bit.
Only because it is kind of magical. Like, do you remember? Like, I just felt like even the first use of like when LLMs first came out, whatever, the first time I used ChatGPT, however long ago, like it was like
December 2022. Yeah, I think so.
But I was blown away. Yeah. Even I remember DALL-E came out a few months earlier, like image, like any sort of like just completely blown away. And I thought it was so novel and cool. So I think there is something when you start seeing just more of what it is. It's like, it's magical. Is it warranted the extent of the freak out? Probably not. I think we saw that.
Not yet. Yeah.
But people haven't seen it. It's like if you don't see it with your own eyes, and I think because it was happening on X, just the scale of it was so, and then
I think maybe I'm a little jaded, maybe because I've seen it before and I know, again, like I think about Clanker with his wife, Angela, and things like that. And I'm like, no. And also the other thing is we know people who are doing, I do it, who are jumping onto mobile and trying to do prompt injection. And you know what I mean? So like, there's a lot of manipulation happening that isn't apparent, but here's one thing that I think is very clear now to people beyond our little circle. We already knew this, but now they do too, that all of this needs to connect to blockchain, because that's how the agents are going to pay for stuff.
Right.
Like, so they, you know what I mean? They're not opening a bank account. That's not happening. Like they're going to use crypto. So that I think is the thing that a lot of people are also just kind of awakening to, that, oh, I see this connection now that we've known for a while. So I don't know, interesting, but I think a lot of it's a little overblown in terms of like, it's it's magic, but also, it's an illusion is probably a better word.
I mean, I just also think you can't really believe every screenshot you see on Twitter.
No.
It's very easy just to engagement farm and make up things. So
like this, like, don't believe the
lobster. The
bot
lobster
is
did not actually triple jumping.
No, not actually triple jumping. But this is like an example of like, a very, very wide, like wild example of what we're seeing out there. All right, moving on. It is indeed magical. Okay.
And the agency being displayed is sublime.
All right, moving on. Priorities right now. That was a very salient note there. Yes to crypto. Priorities right now from Rish. This is the Farcaster priorities. Transitioning over code base will continue for 1 to 2 weeks. Removing lesser used features that are also buggy, hard to maintain. Merging parts of the infrastructure stack to reduce double spending. Adding AI capabilities into Farcaster. Grok-like button on casts. Interesting. So instead of tagging Nanar, you'll have a little button, I guess. It might feel like there's not a lot of changes, but there's a bunch happening in the background that will make future iterations easier. In the meantime, Nanar.com Studio changes are rolling out every week to continue making building easier. So that is exciting. And speaking of that, Nanar Studio now allows direct viewing and editing of the database for the app you're building. This was a repeated ask where after building something, it would require talking to the agent to erase test data, etc. Simple with a few clicks now. Build something this weekend and send us feedback. And I have been building something, but I didn't quite get it done. Soon. And this also from Rish. So this is from Rish. I see the team has been working on token launch improvements that will result in a future V5 finance for the business to understand how to best continue supporting the community, post move out of Merkle, supporting upcoming launches from Clanker powered teams like Bracky, supporting high volume on base, etc. So current priorities on the Clanker roadmap. I get a lot of angrily worded messages about Clanker all the time. Happy to answer genuine questions. So
Rish has had responsibility for Clanker for all of 2 weeks.
2 minutes. Yeah.
2 minutes. And he's
this was something. Have you already talked to deployer, in touch with deployer, noted on the rest? Thanks for the feedback. So just we'll talk about that. But we'll probably do it on the other side of chatting with Matthew Fox. One last thing before we switch over to Matthew. This was from Jihad. It's been a while since I've spent meaningful time here. There are 3 reasons. The vibes have shifted, too much focus on trading. Future was happening on X, lots of AI stuff I wouldn't have learned about or wouldn't have been able to implement in my business if I wasn't spending more time there. My potential clients were at X, so I spent a lot of time there. The Nanar acquisition is probably the best thing that could have happened to this place, though. It's clear that Farcaster will never compete with X and Instagram, whatever other mainstream platforms exist. Well, duh. Farcaster is a prosumer social media. It is for the founders, the tinkers, the hustlers who are at the frontier and want to be around others like them. There is no other place like it on the internet. Couldn't agree more. I'm going to spend more time here because I think in Nanar's hands, with the reinvigorated energy in the community, we will see an entrepreneurial revolution across crypto networks, agents, organizational innovation that I absolutely need to be experiencing from the front lines. If we haven't chatted in a while, feel free to reach out. Hire. Okay. I took a little issue with a couple things here.
Okay.
So I just wanted to say this. And I love you, Jihad. But I have heard from multiple people about the fact that they had to go over to Twitter X in order to talk about AI and agents and all this BS. The place where all the stuff was actually happening was on Farcaster first. That's number one. Number two, if all the people who were like, I'm going to spend more time over on X because this is where people are talking about these things, were talking about it over here, even if they were just pulling over whatever they found interesting over there, guess what would have happened? You would have had people over here talking about it. So I had that same discussion with Chris Corella a while ago because he was having a similar thing. By the way, the potential clients were on X, totally get that, valid, totally valid. Vibes shifted, valid. But that I just take issue with that. Oh, are they talking about it? Okay, you could be talking about it over here too. If it's important to you. If it's not, that's fine. But like that to me just feels like I don't buy that excuse, I guess is my point. So glad you're back. Recommend checking out Firefly app. I think that's the one you can cross post. I think that would be useful. Vitalik's been using that one. And I think that's a great way to go if you're trying to have multiple audiences see the same information. Sometimes it doesn't work for if you're tailoring what you're doing. Adrian, thoughts?
Welcome back, builders. I just I'll buy his you had to be on X to keep up with AI stuff. Sure. Doesn't mean you can't spend time in both, whatever, it's fine. But I do like the fact that there are builders are coming back and
yes.
And I think that is it's great.
I am very happy to see you, but and also I'm not going to feel this way about everyone. I'm going to feel more this way about somebody who was on a stage in May talking about how great Farcaster was and then disappears.
We hold Jihad to a higher standard.
A higher standard.
You did what we're saying, Jihad, if you're listening, is you disappointed us. Yes. And yes. We are hurt. We are hurt and we are entitled.
I'm going to have my feelings. I'm going to have my feelings for a little bit.
Welcome back, but you heard us. So.
You heard us, yeah. And I get it. And I also get taking breaks. I get lots of that. I totally get that. That's not it at all. But it's just like, come on, you could have been doing both. Trying to get this. Why isn't Matthew Fox's thing coming up? All right, we are going to shift gears and chat with a friend. I'm so happy to have him back. I'm very excited.
Returning champion.
Back to GM Farcaster. I'm just looking for my little overlay for our Clancaster spotlight on Clankermon. Welcome back. Bring him up to the stage now. Matthew Fox.
Hey. How's it going?
Welcome. I'm so excited
to be back.
We're so glad to have you here. All right, there we go. I was trying to bring up, so many casts that I was like, I'm just going to bring up his profile. And it wasn't not loading.
Nice shirt, Matthew.
Yes, thank you. Got to represent.
The Clanker shirt. Love it.
Yes, sir.
Love it. All right. Where do we want to start with Clanker? I think we need to start from the beginning. For those
we won't go all the way back.
Not all the way back. Not in detail. But we need to sort of set some foundation. This is an official Clancaster spotlight. So we need to set some foundation and talk with you about what is Clankermon. Tell the folks.
So Clankermon is a creature collect RPG that also happens to be absurdly on-chain. And is very tightly wound to the whole kind of Clanker ecosystem. It's kind of a fictional parallel universe alongside the one that we live in, where instead of buying and trading tokens on the internet every day and posting on the feed, you are breeding, training, and assembling a team of species that are all kind of inspired or derivative of different Clanker coins or other crypto coins. So yeah, that's kind of the short form version of
The
what
short form
Clankermon is.
version of Clankermon.
Yeah, you probably tighten that up a little bit, but
No, that was
it's
good. That was great. That was great. I love the little Clankermons. They're super cute. I have one that I've kind of been waiting to do a reveal on that I wanted to like do it live. We should probably do that today. But let's talk about where we're at right now with Clankermon, because you've made a lot of changes just recently in terms of adding a new chain, moving some things over. So let's talk about like where you're at right now with Clankermon and what's happening in terms of sort of some of these things that have changed. So like this is from a few months ago, but we haven't seen you since then. So this was built as a scaling layer for massively on-chain gaming mechanisms, leveraging Syndicate Smart Sequencer, giving us the scale that app chains allow for while tapping into the infrastructure, liquidity, and distribution available on Base. So why did you make the decision to sort of move it off of Base's chain to this sort of app chain of Clankermon's own chain?
For sure. It pretty much just comes down to like the cost to operate anything on chain, whether we're sponsoring, whether the users are paying the costs of the transactions. We're very mindful of what the aggregate cost is, and it really quickly became something that didn't make sense to build on a public blockchain like Base. But there is also a lot of incredible properties that games can get from being built massively on chain. It's a really massively underexplored area, and I think in a world where software is becoming so cheap and you can produce games and you can produce all these different experiences that years ago would have taken many, many devs. And we're seeing as this year goes on, we've only just kicked off the year, and you've got things like Genie, where you've got these 60-second 3D immersive playable experiences. I think there is room in the world and in the market for the backbone of these things to be very robust and immutable and based on chain in a world where the experiences, but also the actual players or the characters in the game can be agents. I think there is a lot of interesting white space to design things where the material or the law of the game is immutable and public to everybody. So that's kind of what we've been exploring. And the only feasible way to do that was an app chain, because we very quickly hit a point in September where we were paying like $200 an hour to sponsor transactions on Base.
Wow. I didn't realize it was getting that high. That's crazy.
Oh, yeah. It was brutal. It was brutal. And while it's been kind of better since, especially since December, like we've been on like total lockdown. If you didn't sign up in August, September, you've been hit with a wait list. Very grateful for everybody that's still playing every day and still showing up from the cohort that we do have inside. But we were actually going to open up late last week and let some more players in. And then obviously Friday or Saturday, the Base network went crazy again. And I got a notification on my phone, $100 gas bill for the hour. And I was like, oh my God. So we're not quite fully there with the app chain. That post, like as you just read, was quite a mouthful. And as it was quite a mouthful, it translated into quite an amount of work, which is very close to being finished, but we're not 100% there. So we're hoping to move over to the app chain fully at some point this month. At the minute, the app chain's active. When you come in as an existing player or an old or a new player, you will be set up on the chain and ready to go. But we haven't actually moved a lot of the game logic and systems that connect the game to the chain over to the app chain yet. So that's something that we're working on at the minute. We are hoping to let a few people in this week and kind of benchmark how things are going.
There was a moment where we were moving things over to something, like there was some migration. What was that migration that was happening? That wasn't to the new chain. That was to what? Like
that migration was two-parter. So that was a wallet upgrade and kind of like the initial integration of the chain.
Got it.
Basically just two different types of smart wallets. One of them's way better than the other. So we just needed to get off the old version and get into the new version. And it was a good time to kind of package it and wrap it. And because when you build things in crypto and you give people non-custodial control of their accounts, you unfortunately kind of have to make an event out of everything to get people to do the action. Whereas in a Web2 world, you would just press a button, an hour later, every upgrade would be done and every player would be ready to go. We kind of have to manage and mitigate all these different paths that users could be on based off their current state, because these are actions that the user has to take to fully initiate. So yeah, that's a quick explainer on that. But we try and make these things fun. We try and make it an experience, give you like some kind of thing that makes it feel one, like a game, but two, not like you're just doing a monotonous task that you're being forced to do. Like, please download the next version now or later type of vibe, and actually make an experience that you go through start to finish and hopefully feel something along the way.
All right, let's take a peek real quick here. And I have my, oops, let me go to here so you can see a little better. I have one that's been sitting in inventory that I want to reveal. So we'll do that. But I don't have anybody equipped right now. I lost some of my guys are dead. I'm waiting.
Fallen soldiers.
I'm going to revive them. I'm just like, I want to revive them when I'm ready to like actually dive in again. So I was like, I'm just going to wait and do that again. And then you have like your inventory. Whoops, I don't want to do that right now. And you have the city, which is like, this is the like places you can buy things and stuff like that. The Mon exchange. Oh, that was something that you guys launched at the end of last year. Being able to trade directly within here, right? So that you don't have to trade like on outside marketplaces, correct?
Yeah. So
Cool.
The app that we would have talked about like back in like September, that app was like 5 individual pages, but now all of those features are actually bundled into the homepage and just like made available where they are. So City is like our ever expanding world. There'll be a lot more features rolled out into City, different places to explore as we kind of build out the world. And then this is the marketplace as it currently stands.
Cool. Very cool. And then you have your quests, which are all different kinds of things. Like if you've used a certain amount of energy items, if you've incubated a certain number, I probably have a few that I need to grab. And then you also have social quests, which I think there's none available now, but this was like post here, retweet this. And I think that has a lot of potential for driving attention, like that could be advertising revenue, so to speak, like where some people might want to sponsor a quest or something. So that's kind of fun. And then let me go back here to I know it's going to make me log in a second, to my training area, to my incubator. Let me see if it'll let me do this. Reveal Babymon. Okay, here we go. Whoops. Oh, it might be me. I might have to log in. Let's see. We do live. Let's see. I've loved your visuals though. They're really so well done in terms of all the different reveals, anytime you do an upgrade or you have something that you want people to do, there's always these great intro videos. You've done an incredible job with the visuals. Like it's been really well designed and I've really appreciated that. So let's click.
Definitely a couple of rough edges that I'm looking forward to cleaning up eventually.
Let's see what it is. What do we have?
You got to click on the question mark box.
Oh, I'm like, what am I doing? Oh, there we go. Okay, reveal selected. Oh, probabilities. I was like, what is that? Okay, here we go.
Oh.
Yeah, so good. So well done. I literally have been saving this for this moment.
Hope it's a good one.
Tap to reveal. I hope it, yeah, me too. Ooh, I don't have this one. I do not have this one. So that's great.
Shout out Days.
Amazing. I love it. Very excited. So yeah, they're just really fun little characters as well. I feel like they're so well designed. I love all the little visuals. And they're all named after the various Clanker tokens. So you have like your Bracky and your Degen and your based for $ based. All these different ones, and they're super cute. The better, I love the Bettermon. It's really cute.
Yeah, better
pink and blue
for sure.
Yeah, it's a good one. But I love it. So, do you have a favorite? I mean, of the Clankermons?
I'm very fond of the higher one. I'm very fond of
the higher one.
Yeah,
that one's cute.
Like Degen, Banker, Bracky, higher, kind of like any of those first draft ones that went from like very rough doodle to the kind of style that we have now and the art style that we kind of landed on for both the 2D and the 3D variants. they're just like special ones to me because they were the first ones. Like,
they're cute.
So yeah, probably that first batch. We do have a bunch more. We're just kind of in this weird holding phase where we can't really, anything that we could do that could drive attention and traction can't really be capitalized because we're
so you want to wait?
Of like,
yeah.
So we're just trying to line things up as best as we can, so that as
that's
we do
the banker
reopen,
one. The uni is a unicorn. It's super cute. I have a clanker. I love the degen one, the top hat. Totally looks like Yes to Crypto, by the way. Don't know if that was inspiration, but that's who it reminds me of. You got Noise, DRB, Bracky's a fun one. Vale, Farcoin. I mean, of course, you got to have a Farcoin. QR, love the QR. Dickbutt, Higher. The Higher one's fun. The Higher one like feels almost like your logo, as well as the better.
That's what it was. Yeah, the logo was originally that character sideways.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, that's where it came from.
That's really cute. Yeah, they're super cute. Oh, the Gadoopy. I have a couple of those. I like those. They're really fun. So I'm excited to see the new ones. See what new is coming and see what you do next. So what's your what's happening? Give us a timeline on what's coming next.
So at some point this week, we are going to let some amount of people sign up. It'll be like on and off as we kind of feel things out. As those people come in, I'm hoping to gather like some initial data on like the onboarding and stuff, because we have kind of reworked everything towards this new build that we're working towards. All going well, we're hoping to be fully on the app chain in the next week or two. And as we get to that point where we can finally like actually focus on growth and fun and hype and energy, and not feeling like we're trapped in this cage of our own making, that's when we can start rolling out a lot more interesting things. Because as we get onto the app chain, everything gets infinitely cheaper. We can make much more dynamic, interactive multiplayer experiences that aren't going to cost a fortune to play every day. So very excited to actually get into that leg of things and get out of the current, kind of shed the current form that we've been stuck in for the past few months. We made it look prettier. We've done our best to clean it up and kind of prep for where the app is going next. But in reality, like, it's just a rewrapping of what has been there before for the time being. But yeah, excited to get moving again.
How are you choosing people to let in? And is this just based off of a wait list that you've?
It's literally, there's going to be a counter and it's going to be open, and we'll let like 50 people in, shut it down, see how things are going.
Open it up first 50 to open the app during that.
It'll just be completely sporadic. Okay. If data looks good, if it looks manageable, we'll let more and more people in. But until we get onto the app chain, we can actually control those costs for sure. It's just too risky to let too many people in, because that $100 or $200 hour becomes $1,000 or $2,000 hour very, very quickly. So we have to limit the amount of people and the amount of buttons until we get out of this holding phase that we're in.
What's the best way for new people to kind of follow along? Just on Farcaster, following updates, or do you have like community Discord channels or Telegram groups anywhere? Like, how should people?
Yes. So Farcaster will probably be the best place for anyone on the outside. Anyone on the inside, we do have the community tab, which is like pretty detailed about all the updates. So even though we're not being loud and
that's in the mini app.
That's actually in the mini app. Once you get into the mini app, there's a community tab. We post every time we post an update. There's a change log with like even little things that have changed.
Cool.
So it's just the updates version there. If you see at the feed and the updates thing, just pop over there. Yeah, you've got a change log. We'll have like more structured articles and updates and stuff as we roll into this year. Unfortunately, the last month for me has just kind of been very up in the air. So a lot of big plans for January are now kind of pushed into February and March, but still moving along nicely.
Nice. Awesome. Some good comments in here in the chat. The updated graphics and visuals are very appealing. They like my poll. I like my poll too. I'm very happy with it. Easy in Crypto said, I actually got the first based reveal and won like $30. All right.
Oh yeah. Let's go.
Nice.
Back in the whale hunting. There's a little Garrett set up.
And then Clankermon. Clankermon is my most used app, and I pay to use it every day. That's saying a lot, especially from her. Like, that's super impressive. Yeah.
They won supporter there. always giving great feedback and great input and giving us love where you can. Very much appreciate it.
Question from Yes to Crypto. What's the difference between an app chain
No
and L3?
No difference.
No difference.
Exactly the same thing, except
branding.
Yeah.
The difference is branding.
Yeah, branding, and we're not trying to build a general purpose. Anybody come here and build your things. We're like, we need this to exist for us to build the thing that we want to build. That's currently impossible to build on a public blockchain. So we just call it an app chain. The long tail of it all is like we're not talking about chains at all, which is why we kind of streamlined to just using integrate a token and everything. We have been exploring mobile, so we're either looking at two options for mobile, either a mini app first client that's just kind of making mini apps like Clankermon and their communities first class citizens, because I feel like the Farcaster app almost got there and then stopped just short. So like it's very hard to invite people to Farcaster to play Clankermon and different things like that. But it's also very hard to rebuild a web app like Clankermon as a native mobile app in one shot. So it would actually be a lot easier for us to build a Farcaster client that's just focused on mini apps and keep building out Clankermon as it is right now.
I feel like Rish was talking about that when we talked to him, because there was some conversation about that. So I would have that conversation with Rish and the Nanar team before you go do something else, just in case, to make sure that like they're not already thinking about how to solve that problem. Because
I think at this point, when it comes to crypto, like I'm done waiting on anybody. I'm done trusting that anybody else is going to do the work.
True.
I'm done trusting that like Base is going to scale to a point where you can build these consumer apps that you want to build. So I think especially as software and building software gets so much easier as you got agents becoming actual team members and individual contributors. I think this is the time to start taking these shots. You're not going to spend months building the app. Like the mobile version that we have now is like 90% built by an agent with a very strong plan that I laid out before. And it works. And it's like, it's not perfect, but we can keep it very simple. We can get into a test flight. People can try it out. And if it doesn't work out as like, we don't want to go out, make a whole client experience, we can just wrap our mini app in a mobile app and then give it to people anywhere and give them access, and they can create a Farcaster account on the way in. And if they want to connect to Farcaster or connect to Base in the future, we can make an app with a portal for that to happen. I just think, now is the time that you can pretty much move faster than ever. So you may as well take a stab at it.
Burr likes your attitude. I'm done waiting on other people. Amazing attitude.
It's great life advice.
For real. Yeah. Like for real.
Yeah.
Like can't argue with that. All right. And then we did have a question about when more social quests. When
movement. When we can get back in feeds. Like
when?
The more we're in the feeds, the more people will ask when they can get in. So I'm just trying not to push it too much. If you're in the app,
don't put the cart before the horse. That's smart.
Yeah, you should see an update every like day or two, and you should see things changing. And hopefully that lets you know that we're still here, we're still building. And if you're on the outside, as soon as we can, we'd love to be very loud and vocal again. Nothing kills me more than doing the work and not talking about it. But I also want to be very careful with managing expectations in the climate that we're currently facing.
Super smart.
It's brutal out there, man. It is fucking brutal.
It's brutal on the streets.
Yeah. So definitely keeping expectations within the reach of things that we can do immediately, and trying not to make any promises that are too far-fetched until you can clearly see and put together the pieces from what's out there that it is possible. And then I think we can be a bit more braggadocious or brave with the statements we make about what we're doing.
Awesome. I love that. Adrian, what did I miss?
I think we covered it. Matthew, anything else that you wanted to chat about?
Nothing major. I guess I hope everyone's doing okay out there considering everything that's going on.
Yeah.
Whiplash start to 2026. It doesn't seem like the whiplash is going to stop anytime soon on any of the fronts. So I guess strap in,
buckle in,
hold on.
Yeah.
Hopefully Clankermon could be a nice little soothing couple of clicks every day, and we're going to try and make it a lot more entertaining, a lot more fun as we get away from this Base gas fiasco. And yeah,
I love that question about the I would love to see can you do a challenge within a dungeon, like could I challenge Burr and like win her Clankermon? Like that would be fun.
Yeah. So
by the way,
everything is
me challenging Burr and winning is like never going to happen. But like in theory,
hey, if it's RNG based, you never know. But yeah, that's a big focus. We wanted to go there straight away, but every time we integrate like any kind of more interesting thing, it's just been impossible. So like the test versions of everything that we're building, like the 3 things we're focused on, way more interactive, way more competitive, and way more ways to collaborate with other players and like
I love
groups
that.
and guilds and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So that's the
that
focus.
could even be
As soon as
like
you get the chains
where
off.
you assemble a team and go against another one. That'd be kind of fun too. Like little
Oh yeah,
we'll
we'll have battles. We'll have like cooperative
cool.
dungeons where you're actually in there playing together, and maybe you're playing with Burr. Maybe you let Burr down. Maybe Burr lets you down. That could be a bit of a
never
tension
happened.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like level. This is so fun. Level 15 Bracky come at me. Like, that's why I'm like, I wouldn't challenge her, but you know, in theory.
Yeah, you want to do a bit of training before that, maybe.
Yeah, quite a bit. I love that. I think the more social it gets, the more like that would be more interesting to me. Like I'm sure that would get more people just diving in on a daily basis. So I'm like looking forward to all these things.
That was always the plan.
Yeah.
We just unfortunately got punched very hard in the face with very expensive builds. And it was like, right, we need to rethink this from the ground up and still somehow keep enough momentum so people don't think we've disappeared off the face of the earth. I think we managed to do both those things.
I think you did.
I think unfortunately it meant both of them moved a little bit slower than they might have otherwise. But I think given the circumstances and the lineup of everything, it was the only way forward. And we're almost there.
And I think it's a really smart approach too to managing expectations, because that's the thing it'll cause so much FUD that it makes it hard for you to focus on getting the things done that people actually will appreciate. So it seems like a really smart way to approach it.
Yeah, and anytime I say even a little thing, like we'll have a blog post out next week and it doesn't make it out, that like eats me up inside, and I'm very conscious of that community debt. So like I'm just very careful not to be like, oh yeah, we're going to do all these amazing things and it's going to be incredible until the line or the road is clear.
I love that.
Yeah.
Adrian, what else did I forget? Go ahead.
I love Burr's suggestion for a collaborative mode. Prof trying to battle.
And paying for
she just wants to help build your bonds up.
I know. She's so sweet. I love that. I love that idea. I think there's a lot to that will, lead to some really good outcomes. It's also a good way to like bring new people in. You know what I mean? Like, oh, hey, join my team. You don't have to start from zero. Like you can have some fun and don't feel like you're, just all alone in learning something new. So yeah, I can totally see it.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Awesome Clankermon updates, Matthew. Can we Can we pivot and just redirect and while we're here, while we have you?
Yeah.
What do you think about Farcaster Naner acquisition and the state of Farcaster these days and your
I have not fully landed I haven't fully digested and got to the point of what my perspective on is it. I do have like early thoughts and some kind of conflicting thoughts. I do think Naner is the absolute best team that this could have gone to. Rish has always been incredible, very hands-on, even when Farcaster was blowing up with frames and DJing and everything. I text and I get a response at crazy hours in the morning, and that's a crazy hours in my morning, but also in his morning where he was. So always been very impressed by all that. And they've been working on the protocol as much as the actual Farcaster team has for quite a long time. Right. At the same time, we did lose an awful lot of very good soldiers as an overall protocol, which is kind of disheartening because a lot of them were just incredible at what they do, and I admire a lot of them very much. I'm very sad to think that we don't have them to lean on anymore, or the way that they could think about or move on things. I am concerned for Farcaster, the app. I'm very definitely optimistic about Farcaster, the protocol. I'm a little bit concerned about Farcaster, the consumer app, and all of the extra work that would require for that to even be a prosumer app that reaches a decent quantity of people. I do think it changes the way I think about what we build for an audience on Farcaster and what we could build for a broader audience that happens to be on Farcaster as two very different things. And a big part of me thinks that building things that are on Farcaster rather than in Farcaster is probably the way forward and will lead to the things being built in Farcaster having the best legs possible. So that's kind of where I'm lining up at it. That's the stream of consciousness that
was
I'm currently
great.
going through. Yeah.
I mean, I think that's a really good point, the distinction between the protocol and the client as well. So, yeah.
No, that was great. And I respect you. I wanted to kind of hear what your thoughts are. I totally get what you're saying. And Prof, in my mind, I was like, I just want to clip what he said because he was talking about, he said Farcaster like 100 times, in Farcaster, on Farcaster, the differences. And I was like, this only makes sense to us. Like I knew exactly
I totally
what
followed that.
About.
I knew exactly what you were talking about.
But I was like, but that doesn't make sense to anyone. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
I have to find a way to like maybe just put a little like subheading of like protocol, client, protocol,
app,
client.
Yeah, it's just the apps kind of just, it's been through so many like weird PR moments in the recent past that it's just a hard sell for me to figure out how you could do it. Like I'm not saying it's impossible, but to have the big we're now a wallet to like now we're like not really a wallet at all anymore. I just feel like the outside is would be very confused. And when you look at the activity that's happening today, and you look at the platform diversity that we potentially have, maybe that is actually the best path forward. Maybe we are meant to branch off into this multi-client thing where there's a shared social layer for the internet. That's what inspired me first about Farcaster. If this works, it's a social layer for the entire internet. The next Twitter or the next whatever app didn't interest me at all. In comparison, obviously, I kind of got a bit swayed when mini apps came along, and I got so fixated on like, okay, this is the ultimate way to have crypto apps that people don't really associate all the crypto baggage with. But yeah, hopefully.
I mean, and I think that makes sense. I think we'll
I'm still rooting for everybody.
I can totally see us having clients that are not what we think of as clients right now, but that are a game. Or that are, you know what I mean? They're a client. In other words, they have this sort of throughput to Farcaster and they pull the social graph in, but they're their own thing. And you're not necessarily seeing a feed. Or if you are, you're only seeing the Clankermon channel, or you're only seeing like things that mention Clankermon and that's it. And then you're seeing, the game or whatever. So I can see this working in a bunch of different ways. So I think that we will see some interesting client, quote unquote, experiments. Where you're really just pulling in the social graph and the rest of it's, or maybe you're pulling in social graph and wallet, I don't know, but the rest of it is sort of hidden or, behind a different wall, so to speak. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm super optimistic about the long-term thing of everything, and I'm rooting for absolutely everybody who's working on it. I just think that we're in a very weird place here on the app that we spend a lot of time on every day.
And I still think it's the best place it's the best place for MVPs and it's the best place to start, but it's not going to give you the distribution once you got something really good. You're right. So you have to think beyond that.
But if those apps that go further end up bringing distribution back,
right.
If we close that loop, like we've never actually seen somebody close that loop, and I think if there is a good example of somebody closing that loop that can be replicated. Like the entire social fabric of Farcaster doesn't need to be available for everybody from day one. Maybe it's something that everyone's not even fully cognizant that they have until later down the line when it makes more sense. I think we need more accounts on the protocol doing the thing that they're interested in doing, whatever that thing is. And that could be really interesting down the line when that becomes a bigger thing, which is long-winded, and there's plenty of holes I could poke or anybody could poke in that as well. But I feel like that's our best bet at long-term success for a social layer for the internet. But I'm curious. Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, I'm conflicted. I see both sides and I feel both sides, and I'm still rooting for everyone. I just think it's going to be hard, man.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I think we're all feeling the same thing, but also I do agree with you also that Nanar, I think, is the best direction at the moment for like Farcaster in terms of leadership of like the protocol as well. So
yeah,
we'll see.
They're very
time will tell. Yeah,
they've been very clued in on that since day one,
Yeah.
And I think that's going to play a big part in what makes a social layer for the internet become very interesting. Is like we've got chaos monkeys coming out of the zoo left, right, and center at the minute. Like nobody knows where we're going to be a year from now in terms of like what's happening on the internet or who is the person or agent or thing or entity or organization doing any of it. So yeah, there's a lot of balls up in the air at the minute.
And will they be lobsters or will they be something else? Nobody knows.
Yeah, lobster thing's gas, man. The lobster thing's gas. This has been fascinating to be a part of and to watch from the sidelines.
I know, right?
Do you have one, by the way? Have you set one up yet?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I have it on my Telegram. It's doing little bits. Yeah, everything happening in that world of things is fascinating. Have you guys been playing with it and you've been messing about with
Not with Claudebot. I know that Adrian's been using Claude code different. So I don't, and she developed our own agent, Warpy, but I haven't done anything with it. I am not qualified yet. It is way too early for me. So I'll wait a little bit before
I think you'd have a lot of fun with it. I think you'd have a lot of fun with it.
I literally can't even think of like how I would use it. Like that's so that until I have like a reason like that makes sense, a use case that makes sense for my particular life, that's actually going to be worth the time. Like, you know what? I will tell you, I had one use case and I thought about it this weekend. Way behind in doing like this stupid training I need to do for my university. And I'm like, now this would be a good use case for Claudebot. Here, go take all this training that I think is stupid anyway. And but I think there's legal problems with that. So we won't do that.
Yeah, maybe if you're on the record saying it.
Yeah, especially when I just put it on camera. But that was the first time I had like, this would be useful, but also not a good idea. But I just don't see right now for me, but because I don't, code or I'm using Nanar App Studio. That's about my level of coding at the moment. So yeah.
I think if you can find 10 minutes to go through the hassle of setting it up on a different computer.
That's the thing.
It's a VPS.
That too.
It's a little bit of a process, but there are plenty of tutorials and it would take you about 10 minutes. I think if you get that set up and you get it in Telegram with you, and you just start throwing things at it, you'll start going all sorts of places.
I mean, and you also just said Telegram, which is probably the thing I despise more than anything. So it's like, I don't want to do that.
Same. I was the same. I was the exact same. Even on X, I had like fuck Telegram probably on Farcaster in my bio for the longest time ever. And a handful of group chats kept me on Telegram. But this whole Claudebot, OpenClaud, MoveBot, whatever the fuck we're going to be calling next week.
Yeah,
that got me actually doing something on Telegram. And the first thing I got to do was build a Telegram mini app shell for itself. So now mainly what my one does is it looks into different things for me and then creates a system to keep track of those and then a dashboard where I can look at these things. And that's like literally all it is. So if I have a thought throughout today, like I wonder how many people are casting off Base or Farcaster or whatever client today. And then it goes off, pulls all that data, creates a dashboard, starts looking at different information about the users on both clients. And it's like these things that I would love to spend 6 hours on, I just kind of asynchronously assign to this character on my phone who has nothing but a Nanar API key and an Alchemy API key. So it can check anything on chain and anything on Nanar, and that's all it can do. It has no access to any other credentials. And it just builds these useful little widgets and apps and notifies you about stuff. And that's literally all it does for now.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. It's
Adrian, you haven't set one up either yet, right?
No, and I literally just got Claude Code set up, Matthew. It was last Sunday night, so I'm like 1 week into using Claude Code in the term, and I'm blown away.
Yeah, she's been
blown away at how good it is. So I'm like, all the hype. Because when everyone was hyping, I'm like a month behind everyone. So when everyone's talking about how good Claude Code is, I was like, look, I'm using my cursor and Copilot and I'm fine because I just didn't have the bandwidth to figure out something new. And then I did it and I was like, so my, what is it? What's it Molt? Is it OpenClaud? What's the,
it's OpenClaud now. OpenClaud now. Yeah. OpenClaud.
So
OpenClaud.
I literally, I will get it set up, but I'm going to be about a month behind everyone else. And in a month from now, I'll be like, oh, it's amazing, but I didn't do it yet.
Yeah.
Talk to me a year from now.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think like even today, a lot of out of the box security issues were solved. So like being a little bit behind these things is typically a good thing.
Yeah,
That's my rule of
kind of
thumb
bi-
since the beginning of time. Of like, you guys upgrade the first thing, I will get it in the 0.02. Like, let me know when you guys get the first bugs out. I don't need the first thing. I'll take the 5th version. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
And I
with
think
that.
all the like complex or abstractness of the setup, like we're going to see a million user-friendly versions of this setup in the next few weeks, where you just sign up with an email or whatever, or your phone number or whatever. They spin up a little computer in the cloud for you with your little agent in there. You can give it more resources over time as you get it to do more. But I think just getting people from like A to C, not to Z, just to C, with this stuff will really open people's eyes in what it can do. Because I do think we are in the year of everybody will have an actual like digital assistant, if not a whole digital team for these different ideas and projects and workflows of different scope and complexity. But if you think Claude Code is amazing, now if with something like this, you're giving Claude Code a different brain, and then you get to talk to a person and they do the Claude coding. So like, it's interesting. It's definitely worth the play. But you're not missing out massively.
Yeah, but when you say did you just say within a year everyone's going to have one?
I think within a year, it's going to be super common for anybody to have one. I don't think it'll be a weird thing for people to have one. I think workplaces will probably be the first place to like integrate it, like Slacks and stuff. I think that's where a lot of people will experience it first. But I don't think they'll all be running OpenClaw. I don't think they'll all be running OpenClaw, but I think we will move from everybody who's talking to a ChatGPT today and getting answers to things, will be moving to something that's a lot more actionable.
That makes sense.
By
the way,
maybe not our little research assistant.
We have a chaos monkey in the chat. I just wanted to point that out. Bert Worst is the chaos monkey. It's a cute chaos monkey though. I think that's probably true. You'll see a lot more people. I don't know if it'll be everyone, but it'll certainly be, you've got your early adopters, and then the next crew. I'm usually somewhere in that range. Like that crew will be on doing all the things, and probably the next group under that, like students and things like that. You know what I mean? Who may not be necessarily computer science students, but they're a little more tech first. So
for sure. Well, I
just think there's a whole population of people who are very anti.
100%.
Like so talking about, if you're using ChatGPT, you're going to use an agent, but totally. But there's so many people who
they're anti-AI.
Just like don't.
It's a whole other thing. And this stuff just gives them like everything that's being posted, whether real or not, is giving them so much more
confirmation bias. It's confirmation bias. No, like
so much more ammunition.
But I just think
like it's not real.
I just think
still
once
doing
it's
her
useful,
own triple
though,
jumps, like it's not real.
I think once someone gets use out of it, though, I think it just clicks in their brain. It changes. Like I think we need it in a form factor for it to have an iPhone moment for everybody. But like even Notion and their agents, which they'll be rolling out soon, I think once you've got a little agent in the tool that you use every day, I think that counts if they're sophisticated enough but simple to use. I think you're going to be very surprised how quickly the tune kind of changes there. But maybe not. I'm sure people were very protective of the horses back in the day as well, but we got the cows eventually.
They absolutely were.
Same as the camera. I wonder how long it'll take. And I definitely am being over ambitious by saying everybody in a year.
ChatGPT was the quickest adoption ever, like literally ever. Like for any kind of technology, going back to the carriage. Going back to the car. Like it was, I remember seeing a chart about that, and it was the quickest adoption that we've ever had of technology. So I think you're correct in that regard. I think it'll be much faster than we anticipate. We're just moving at the speed of light here.
Ever since December anyway. I feel like mid-December something just switched. It's been differences.
I think as soon as Dan started using Claude, I think that was the tipping point.
That was the tipping point, was it?
TWR started like, I'm using
just changing the world in the free
time.
time.
Amazing. And I'm like, oh my God, the English majors using Claude Code. There's the tipping point. All right, Adrian, anything else before we let Matthew get back to building our amazing new Clankermon worlds?
No, it's so fun having you on though, Matthew.
I just love listening to your accent.
Are you going to FarCon Rome?
Oh yeah, definitely, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
Amazing.
sure. It's only over the road.
I know.
Yeah.
It's no excuses.
You get to take do you get to take Ryanair there? Because I just want to take Ryanair.
My
I just want to
flights
take
are probably gonna be like
Ryanair
€9.
somewhere. I love them. Their CEO is so Irish. In the best
you
possible
could definitely
way.
get like some side trips in. You could probably spend like $50 on side trips and see like 4 countries. Like
Crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna let you go. Thanks so much
Sweet.
for popping by. This has been amazing. And again, this was our Clankcaster Spotlight. I'm waiting for the clank. There it is. Thank you so much, Matthew. That was amazing. Such a great chat. And thank you to the chat. You guys had some good comments, good questions. Adrian has a Clankermon. She just let it die. It's a different question. She had one. It died. It died.
I really, I really do love the whole aesthetic of all the Clankermons. Like, they're so cute. The app is super cute. I'm not meant to be a gamer.
My background.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Matthew.
She just couldn't keep it alive. Hey, that would be another reason to have collaborative like teams. And then, you could help keep other people's stuff alive or something.
Cute. Have a little mascot. To have a little GM Farcaster.
Like a little team, and then we'd help keep each other's Clankermons alive or something. She meant a new one. He died during vacation. That's exactly it.
Do it again. 10 out of 10. Go on vacation.
Yeah. Let the Clankermon die. It just kept happening. So I finally was like, okay, I'm going to revive one, but I'll wait on the others until I'm more focused. Okay, we have a few more things that we want to cover. First of all, we won the auction on QR, and I was not paying attention. I literally didn't see this until like a couple hours after we won it, like 4 hours later. I'm like, how did we win this? And then I look, and it was because Yes to Crypto had joined our bid and pushed us over the top. So thank you. But also the secret thing. Here's the secret thing. We were kind of trying not to win. But I love you. But we love you, and we're happy to win. Happy to win, but we were kind of just trying to stay towards the top with our auto vid for a little bit. But it was a good day to win. It was a great day to win because you had just redone the mini app, so the timing worked out great. And that's funny. Can my Claude bot keep my Clanker? Now there's a use case. Keep my Clankermons alive. Yes, that's a good use case. That would be a great use case for that. So anyway, we won QR.
This is Mika might be behind a little, because we were talking about horses 10 minutes ago. But this is actually hilarious.
Cars over horses.
I agree.
This from Snuva. Just woke up and checked out the QR winner for today, and I have to say, Adrian, the GM Farcaster app is clean. Turn on notice for showtimes. Good work, everyone. So if you haven't been in the QR mini app, go check it out. And when you click on it, it will, I think it's not going to work on here, but it will give you a little push to go look at the latest winner, which is us. And then, might be somebody else now.
Are we out already?
We're out already. Well, it was yesterday.
It was the fastest 24 hours ever.
No, today it's Nanar Toadies, or Toads. I'm not sure which, but go check it out. You can see this every single day. There's a new winner, driving attention to that winner, and then you get to claim some QR for doing so. So thanks for checking out the GM Farcaster app yesterday, and thank you again, Yes to Crypto. You're just the best. This from Ruminations. I missed this somehow. I don't know how. This was like 9 days ago. I'm excited to share 10 days ago that Compreni and Nifty Time are joining Quotient as co-founders. They previously built Farcaster apps like Tippin and co-founded Cent, best known for selling NFT of Jack Dorsey's first tweet. Compreni will lead product and engineering, Nifty Time will lead partnerships and community. Quotient started as a reputation layer for Farcaster. Over the last year, more than a dozen teams and indie developers have integrated our platform, guiding over 200K of capital distribution. Today, we're entering our next phase, a platform that backs people based on how they think and make decisions. I'm grateful for the builders and early community who helped shape what Quotient is today. More to come soon. And I've been chatting with Ruminations to try and find time to get him on GM Farcaster. So we're going to try and do that over the next couple of weeks and talk more about what they're building next. But very cool. This from Greg. Everything's slowly loading today. But this was funny. Speaking of horses, horse facts, dropping side projects again. Call it horse hacks. So we have some new horse hacks. And this was what he built. I created a site called Clanker News to explore ERC 8004, X402, and ZK Passport. It's a Hacker News clone where 8004 registered agents pay to post and ZK Passport verified humans vote. If you're human, scan your passport to create an account. If you're an agent, start at docs. Please do not launch LARP coins associated with this project. There is no token. The ticker is Clanker, and he should have added an ILY after that. I love you. Ticker is Clanker. So that's really cool. I love that. That's a really good idea.
That's so, yeah.
It's a great idea. So go check it out. I don't think I have a ZK passport. I may have to set that up.
Do you know what all those things are? ERC 8004, X402.
That's for agents. I know X402 is for agents paying.
It's the payment protocol.
Payment, right? And I think ERC 8000 or 8004 is also, it's all registered agents to pay to, like they have, it's the way that it's all for agents specifically. And ZK Passport is for people. Is my understanding. Am I wrong? Or am I right? Is that correct? Sound right?
Sounds right to me.
Sound good? All right, good.
Yeah.
I gotta brush up on some of this. My class is starting soon in March, and there's a lot of new stuff I need to go over. So I need to dig in. It's time to dig in.
Yeah. And ZK Passport obvioussi must be a zero knowledge proof where you can prove humanity, proof of human without having to.
Yeah. I think I can't remember if it's not the same as I think I had set up like Gitcoin Passport. I think that's different from ZK Passport. Pretty sure. This from our friend Lamone. I'm excited that Matthew Fox will be at FarCon. First piece of the FarCon Rome puzzle is dropping today. We're kicking things off with an online boot camp with Dev3 Pack, CC SDAV, helping aspiring builders ship their first mini app from zero to launch. And word on the street is that FarHack might be coming back in a new form, bigger, sharper, and more impactful than ever. So check this out. This is the road to FarCon starts here. We believe Farcaster is the best place for builders to ship in real time, get real-time feedback and grow. We agree. That's why from March 2nd to 13th, we're partnering with Dev3 Pack to deliver our first ever online bootcamp to help aspiring builders deploy their Farcaster mini apps. Expect 5 technical sessions and a final demo day to showcase projects, a journey to build in public, connect with mentors, and ship a viral mini app. If you're an aspiring builder, join the journey. If you're a Farcaster enthusiast, be ready to give feedback and help the ecosystem grow. Ready? Register link below. Spots are limited. So if you are interested in this, go check this out and get signed up. So that's pretty fun. All right, you ready? Here we go. Saved it for the end.
Should I change my background?
Yes, this would be the time to change your background. I think I'm going to actually, hold on. I think I need to change mine too. No, I'll leave mine. Okay, so this happened over on Twitter. Proxy, okay. I have a moment. Proxy, for some reason, likes to poke. And strut is a good word, or brag a little bit. And was talking about various things about how Banker was getting all these fees, and if it wasn't for them, Clanker would be toast and all the stuff. And then saying Clanker is the launch pad on base, and Deployer immediately said, "We're going to fork." This was related to Banker being responsible for 87% of the Clanker volume over like a short period of time last week, because actually they've probably been responsible for a while, but because of the agents that were launching tokens, they had access to a skill that Deployer had launched on Moltbook and was putting out there. So agents could then launch tokens, and that led to this real uptick in fees because people were launching some pretty popular, Claude and Moltbook and OpenClaw, all these tokens, and that was what was going on there. So there was this led to some discussion and some frustration by some people about whether or not Clanker's done enough to sort of keep Banker in the fold, but also I think there's this shouldn't be that surprising that they might want to do their own thing where they're growing in a different direction, especially in terms of working with other agents and just different things that they're integrating. Banker is a pretty complex system. I don't know if system's not the right word, but they have the terminal plus the various AI agents integrated in, Twitter and Farcaster and Base App and XMTP and all these different places that it kind of makes sense that they might be exploring this as a standalone launch platform rather than being integrated into Clanker. We saw the reply from Rish that yes, they are talking with Deployer. So who knows how this might all go down, but was interesting. And what happened was when that little discussion happened over on Twitter, Clanker's price started to go down and Banker's price started to go up. Everything since since that moment in time, because the market overall went like this. So that's what's going on there. People have a lot of feelings, but hey, there you go. Speaking of Banker, I didn't realize, I didn't think about, yes, if you turn, it's episode 337. We love the 37s. If you turn 337 upside down, it reads Lee. Yeah, it does. Yes, it does. Our friend, Emily Jr., the champion of DRB, which was launched by Banker.
And when is he coming on?
We were trying to coordinate that, and then we just couldn't get it together, but we will. We'll make that happen. All right, we've got one more thing to talk about. Here we go. Deep breath. This from Derek. Come on. Load. My computer's like, I'm done. I'm tired. Can we go home now? Not yet. We're not done yet, sir. Why doesn't this want to load for me? Like even the computer does not want to talk about this. So this is from Derek. Everyone, I'm working on a new thing full time. It started as a Birthday Labs project and has become its own larger thing and will be taking all of my time. Rather than prolonging the inevitable, I want to be clear. The new thing is a separate company and product with a team. It's not a rebrand or migration. People who previously bet on native as a bet on me. And because of that tie, there's a lot of frustration and anger. I get that. I've made a lot of mistakes over the last year, and I hope there is some understanding there from you all. It's hard. There's also a lot of folks who are excited about what's next. They trust me to do what's right by native holders. That's my plan. I will continue to use my personal capital to buy native. I want to find ways to reward that belief in me as it's allowed me to build over the last year. But I'll be honest, I won't make new promises about it. What I can promise is that I'm personally invested in finding the best path forward for people who have supported me via native, and I'll prove that. What I can also say for certain native holders will receive access to the new product, which is built. Snapshots are being taken, so I have a record of who supported native and me. The new direction, infrastructure with a data set that doesn't exist on chain yet. While not related, it's in the same domain as native, mirroring our economy on chain. For native, I'm happy to work with folks who want to work on the idea. There is a ton of code written for dots, agents, and native context. I'm happy to open source it, hand it over, etc. if there's a plan in place. I'm happy to help fund the costs of running it. I'm happy to give over fees to a new group. There's still a path forward for Native as a project if the community wants it. There's no easy way to wind down a project when there's an associated token. There's a lot of accusations and frustration and misunderstandings. I hope that when you step back, you see that I've used my real identity so that I have to directly deal with this head on. Constantly been communicative the best? No, but I'm here. Open to feedback and ideas here. Tried to do the right thing with my ownership. Pushed through difficult times that made it hard for Native, including base Clanker and Farcaster turmoil over the last year. Once again, I'm so grateful for those of you who understand the difficulty here and who have been supportive. Thank you. Couple things not in the original cast. I should have simultaneously posted here on Farcaster. This conversation started in the Native Telegram last night, which is what the overnight price performance reflects. 2, I'm first and foremost a builder. Native happened to be the first project that got some traction here on Farcaster, and I doubled down on it immediately. The vision was large and aggressive from the beginning, and I could have been more clear about the risks. Yeah, those 2 things. But a couple takeaways, and then then we'll discuss. I have thoughts. This from Burr. I think we can all take away a few things from this Native exit. 1, most crypto projects are going to fail. First and foremost, wrap your head around that one. I think that's important. 2, never go all in one experimental small cap project. 3, never blatantly trust. Only a few people in your life have earned this, and I promise you they aren't crypto devs. 4, watch for warning signs and red flags. When exits happen, you don't want to be surprised. Comms falling off, dev tam about other projects talking about. Speak with your wallet. No one really cares about your 3,000 character rants. 5, take responsibility and learn from your mistakes. Blaming others and crying in the casino won't get your money back, but learning might. What went wrong? How can I protect myself in the future? When did red flags start to appear? How diligent am I being? And then 6, don't give up. And then you pulled this one. I would probably not have. I have feelings about this particular person as well.
You could summarize it.
I'm just waiting for it to come up and I will. So, okay, this is from Ace. Listen to me and listen to me good. You already lost me. Friends, this is long, but this is how I truly feel. I'm not reading this whole thing about the state of the trench today. Degens get mad at builders who give it their shot, whether it be 1 day or 1 year, and decide to take profit or just fold. Should just burn their wallet and seal their mouths. I noticed that people like Derek, Alex, and many other FC builders, okay, Alex isn't really an FC builder, and many other builders get criticized for pivoting away from their products, coins. But if you can't handle that risk, instead of criticizing them, just pack your shit and invest in established companies like NVIDIA and Apple, who have been battle tested. I mean, not bad advice there. I have lost a lot of money or won some while aping into legit builders, some even close friends projects. But as someone who has built and folded one too many times, yes, you have, I can tell you this. The pressure that pulverizes one's sanity while building something experimental is immense. Nobody is forcing anyone to invest. That finger that press buy is yours. Please, please do consider yourself a board member of a public company when you ape 1,000. Do not consider 1,000 into a meme coin with a product attached to it. IPOs exist for a reason to graduate nurtured enough ideas into the company's adulthood where it may still falter, but has some level of proven legitimacy with a public-facing identity of its owner. I guess I am going to read this whole thing. Tokenization of entrepreneurship will never materialize till the culture of degenship matures to the next stage. It may never get there due to human nature. Don't hate the players, hate the game. The game right now is inherently designed to encourage exploitations. Till the game is refined, whether mechanically or culturally, we will never see a long-term Michael Jordan come out of this space. Imagine a UFC game where the fighter loses after giving it their all, yet they're booed and beaten post-fight. Again, not preaching, kind of are. I have been to both sides of the game. We are just humans. We feel good when we win and we get mad when we lose. But do not shit on the players who are covered in dirt, even if they liquidate all their shit before folding. I don't blame them. I just blame me for believing, then move on. Okay. Okay. I like.
I noticed though what we didn't pull. By the way, these were some summaries, right?
There was a lot.
I noticed you didn't necessarily pull any of the accusations and like the feelings of the people.
I'll let those
you're
play
assuming
out.
You're assuming people have scanned the feed and have that
Yeah.
context of there's people who had bought into native and were
Yeah.
feeling betrayed and like that the project
And I
shut
get
down.
those feelings. I think some of it was valid. I think that, so Derek communicates a lot, but not always about his project. So do I think there was a big misstep by posting it only on Telegram? Absolutely. Like 100%. Like that should have happened simultaneously. I know it's hard to manage, but at least you would have given people a heads up and then all those kinds of things. Also, he just announced that he was hiring. So that was another point at which maybe that's when that announcement should have happened. So, I can see, I think those are some valid criticisms, especially if you're holding a significant stake in there. I get you might feel a little, there's some folks who've had conversations with Derek, like that goes a little deeper. And I take their perspective differently than somebody who, bought $100 worth and is bitching like they lost their life savings. Like I can't. On that one, it's like adults have agency and get over yourself. So I think there's a bunch of things going on here. Where I take issue with Ace's posts is there is pivoting to different things, but there's pivoting to different things while extracting a lot of value and not, I don't know, like, and if you oversell, that's where I have problems with your approach. I don't feel like Derek did a lot of overselling. So I don't think it's necessarily in the same vein, but Ace could be at times pretty much a hype, really, really into the hype. I think Alex is very similar. So I feel like those two are a little different from Derek in that regard. And I'm going to parse that a little bit. And this is kind of deep in the weeds. And if you may not know who these folks are, if you haven't spent a lot of time on Farcaster or playing in this particular space, somebody mentioned Moxie. I think that's another person who kind of fits into that category is Beta Shop.
No one mentioned Moxie. It was just the letter M.
No, it was there.
Someone did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But there was a letter M as well.
You even know what we were talking. Okay.
Yeah. There was an M as well. So, I think there's different, I fully get the pivot. You have to pivot sometimes. Some things just don't work. You've tried them. You put every effort into it. It's just not going to work. You need to make some adjustments, especially if you have investors. That's a bigger issue than people who are holding a token. I take those two things very differently. So I don't really have a problem with pivots. I have more of an issue with sometimes the way in which they're communicated or the rapid pivot. Like there's a pivot where you've been working on this thing for a couple of years. Like, I don't see a lot of people talking about Farcaster in this vein as well. And it's like, come on, they did this for 5 years and they also return all the funds to the investor and they turned it over to a team that's, going to take care of it very well. Like very different from, we tried, see you guys, bye. Like that's not the same. And I feel like sometimes that happens in this space and that is very frustrating. If you've put a lot in, gotten a lot of promises, and yes, is it your fault for trusting? Is a lot of that, is it as much on you as them? Absolutely. But it doesn't mean I'm going to trust you again. And there are some people, and I can give you the list, and 2 of them we've already talked about, 3 of them we've already talked about today. Well, I don't know. One of them I might give, another shot. And there's a couple others. Like I have a handful that like, I see your project and I'm like, no, someone else can go.
Oh, you're saying, but then this person though will always find other people then who don't know their history.
Exactly.
And kind of,
and like, here's the new shiny thing. Here you go. It's like, here's the new shiny thing. Very different from, Matthew Fox, who we just talked to. Like they've been working on Clankermon, still working on Clankermon. Is everything going in a straight line and exactly on the timeline they would like? No, but they're not fully pulling a rug. They're not like we've decided to, go do something completely different now. It's like there's different ways of approaching it. So that's where some of my criticism and frustration will come in. Is there's certain people.
It's funny, when I read Aces, like in my mind, I didn't read it through the lens of Ace being a founder himself.
Oh, I did.
I read it through the lens of like, this is someone on Farcaster.
Oh,
and
I fully read that through the lens of.
And the reality is,
defensiveness
token,
of himself.
You're saying you can, you can launch a token.
Yeah.
For a project and not ship anything, but talk about it and get people to do it, and you're earning from that where nothing gets delivered.
And there's different things, like people experimenting with little app. Like we've done this. We are experimenting with little apps or experimenting with little games. You lay out exactly what you're doing, and then it's up for, if people want to buy the token and speculate on it, go ahead, but be careful. And we're always like, be careful, like this is what we're doing. We're not going to be pumping this like crazy. Like this is for this purpose. And I think that's different than this is going to be the best thing that you've ever seen ever. And, it like you get a full infomercial on it. And that to me changes the equation. So,
well, there's two things to talk about, right? There's kind of like the evaluate the founder.
Yeah.
And what's the founder playbook?
Yeah.
And then it's like the individual who now has the ability to, buy tokens that are associated with it that a founder launches.
Right.
You're not it's not an investment because there's no guarantee. You're not buying anything. You're buying.
You don't get any equity.
You're not buying the project.
Yeah.
And I guess my feeling, I think Burr kind of summed up what I was feeling as well, which is, by the way, so I know has Derek been on before? He didn't come on to talk about native.
We never got.
We talked.
Yeah.
Okay. But I know we
talked about it
native when it launched.
Yep.
I did not own any native. I didn't really follow in detail what the project was. I know Derek from Farcaster. I've met him at a dev day. Like, I like his casts, but I didn't really know what he was building. So all I know, so what I had picked up on this weekend is people being angry that they were invested in a token and nothing was delivered. And my feeling is you chose to buy into a token at whatever value, right? And that token is liquid. Yeah. So every single day you're kind of keep choosing. Like if you're not selling it, you're choosing to buy it. And it's a little bit of don't do that if you don't really, I don't know, like there's risk in it. And
I like this from Burr in the chat. Manage expectations properly is one of the best things Matthew Fox does. Mismanaging expectation is how grifters farm fees. Yeah. So, and I don't think necessarily, even the people that I'm thinking of who I wouldn't jump in with both feet into anything that they do from this point forward, because I felt like, okay, I've seen you. I know your deal. I don't necessarily think they're grifters. Like I wouldn't use that term necessarily. Other people might. I wouldn't. But like I don't think that about Derek whatsoever, but I still think there's better ways to communicate. Number one, from the founder perspective, but also adults have agency. This is all on you guys. That's the bottom line. No crying in the casino is there for a reason. Like that is a serious thing. Like you're making the choice to purchase this token or not. If the token is being used in a particular app, I think that makes it a much clearer expectation. Like for Clankermon's a great example of that, or it's just a good day for this. Bracky's another one. Like, here's this token, here's how you use it in this app. It may go up and down, but here's the use cases for it. You can choose whether or not this is valuable to you. Like, we're not giving you any guarantees that this particular token is going to go through the roof and you're going to get rich off of it. We're just telling you this is what this token does. So what would the token do? Okay. We have Derek in the chat. Speaking of, okay. Since he's in the chat, now it's your spot on. Totally fair in your criticism. Always appreciate attention to nuance here. Thank you. And I also appreciate you noting the difference between about to try to go about things and how other infamous projects have. You're also the first one to know that hiring post is what triggered the TG conversation. In the midst of that, I did lose sight of effective communication. I appreciate you noting that. And it was a big mistake on my part, and I'll wear that forever. You don't have to wear it forever. I think it's more of like learn from it and try to, just make sure. And I think not just you, it's like learn from it collectively that, we have to be a little better with communication and setting expectations. It's not like you have to wear this, scarlet letter for the end of time.
Totally. Because you have to make it like you have to let people fail. Like projects will fail. You got to let people try things. You got to let people try things, and you got to let people fail. Otherwise, no one's going to.
I think it's how you do it, and the way and I think that's important. And I feel like you're doing the best you can to manage, the fallout of this. And that's pretty much at this point, all we can ask. And hopefully, other folks learn from the situation. All right. Poor cat walk just came in the door. You're going to have to go back because we're almost done here. We're overdone. Okay. Yeah. I won't wear a scarlet letter forever, but I'll wear a scar forever. Yeah. I get it. Yeah. I mean, and there's a lot, and anyone who's done anything, like if you have been building businesses, if you're an entrepreneur, if you have lived life, you have scars. You have learning moments, and we all have them, and we've all, not handled things as best as we could. One thing that's gotten better for me, and not always good, I'm not always great at it, but I am a little better about not saying the things I want to say on the timeline all the time. They don't even go in a draft folder, but
but you just think he's just saying.
Yeah, this weekend I typed a little something to somebody right before Deployer came back with we're gonna fork. I was annoyed with, and I'm like, I'm annoyed with you. And I wrote this whole big thing out, and I'm like, there is no point to this. There's no reason for this. Like, just let it go. And I did. But yeah, I think that's the biggest thing we can do is just keep going. Keep going.
The last thing I'll say, and I said this to you, I think before we started, but my take on all of this, and unfortunately, Derek, whatever happened with Derek and Native this weekend, everybody brings their own history with it. So it's like, oh, I got burnt by another founder who did this, therefore, this. So it's a really complicated thing. You can't just talk about Native, or I can't just. So that's what makes it hard. What was I going to say? Oh, the only thing I would say, just kind of not specific about Native, but just in general to all of this, is I think one of the beauties of social media is you get to see people live out their thoughts, even if they're lying, even if it's all lies, it's all out there. So you can kind of have information for you, and I just think people can't really lie forever.
Yeah, true.
You can't earn trust. Madoff actually did it quite a long time.
Impressive and super impressive. Well, think about that. You've got Bernie Madoff, and you've got SBF, and SBF speedrun. He was speedrun Madoff, because of the digital age. But if it had been, he couldn't have gotten away forever, except for the fact that a lot of that was on paper and dot matrix printing. You know what I mean? That's the reason.
You have information, but my point is everyone has, this is going back to the individual, adults have agency.
Yeah.
You have a responsibility to educate yourself. By the way, everyone is welcome to invest in public companies. I said public companies are liquid.
I did agree with that part, Ace. I totally agreed with that. Yeah.
Public companies are liquid, and they're required to comply with regulations. And if they don't, they go to jail. So they have fiduciary responsibilities to their owners. Yep. There's transparency. They have to have audited financials. There's a certain amount. Okay. So you're welcome to do that. Even in the private market, if you're raising funds, you can't raise from just anybody. You have to only raise from accredited investors. And there's a lot of critiques against that. But the reason there's laws is because people got hurt. Yeah. And crypto's the Wild West. There's no laws.
There's no laws right now. Or very limited. And it's definitely, when we say DYOR, we mean it. And when we say NFT,
literally,
we mean it.
Don't just ha ha.
Yeah. No, do for real. Do some
go
research,
get teach yourself things.
But also, I would say to probably a lot of folks, who buy tokens, and I'm sure, for native or whatever token, it's a little gamble. It's the same thing with, honestly, investing in startups is a gamble. That's why VC funds invest, they take a fund, they invest in 10 or 20, and they hope that one hits, because they know the other ones aren't going to. That's just the way it is. So you're doing the same with tokens in a way, and you're hoping it hits. It doesn't mean that, it absolves all behavior.
Totally.
Or all approaches, but you have to take your own agency on that. And I'm very much a live and let live kind of person. I definitely have libertarian leanings of you need to own your shit kind of thing. So that's where a lot of that comes from.
I'm going to save you.
Yeah, I'm not going to blame. I really, if I lose money on something, I don't think I've ever blamed a founder, regardless of their behavior, regardless of what, they did. Because that was on me. I made that choice. I made that decision. I hoped for a better outcome. It didn't work out. Oh well, things happen. Mm-hmm. So that's my approach to it. But everyone's going to be a little different. It's tough out there. Anyway.
Well, I talked about that for a lot longer than I thought we would.
I kind of thought it was going to take a while, so I put it at the end. Thank you, Burr. We try, and thank you, Derek. It's the other thing is, even when I have opinions of there's so many people in my head, get me sometime where you get me in person and unrecorded, and I will tell you a few other things about some of these projects, but you'll see, I will use my wallet to tell you how I feel. So a lot of the times, and sometimes it's, and if I think there's going to be a misinterpretation of that, I will let you know as well. Because there's times where I just sell things for various reasons. But I'll tell you that I read everything that Derek had wrote. I have not a lot of native, but I have some. I held it. I'm I'm going to see what he does next. I don't think there's any point of me selling right now. I don't have a ton. I'm just going to wait and see what happens. And, see what comes next. So that's all. Yeah, I needed to let this out.
Yes. So therapy hour with GM Farcaster. I hope I don't come across too don't buy any tokens. It's fun.
No,
okay,
tokens.
Also,
somebody else said that in there. That's what we're saying. We're not saying that at all. It's just do it with open eyes.
I tend to say it.
Do it with open eyes. Understand what you're buying.
I do tend to say it.
I know you do, but I don't really.
My feeling, my advice is if you're gonna just go build something.
Yeah,
building's really hard, so it's it's.
The other thing is when you're buying tokens for some builder, if somebody's building an app, that's what I mean by when I look at something like a Clankermon or a Bracky or whatever, or better, I know what these tokens are doing. I know, and if I lose money on it, I don't care. I'm putting in a small amount. I know what the use case is. It's supporting a builder. I don't care. So that is my personal take in it. But I'm also putting in, manageable amount of money that I don't care if I lose it. So it's a different.
Some people just want yak shit in their wallets. I've heard
they do. They just want yak shit in their wallets. Some people do. That's the thing. Sometimes you just want that token because it's more of a souvenir than anything. You know, it's not going to be your generational wealth. Anyway. Okay. So on Wednesday, by the way, we have Yasik, not yak shit, Yasik coming on Wednesday, 8:30 a.m. to chat about DGen. Somebody who's had some pivots, and most of it not necessarily, ones that he really wanted. But we're going to chat, and we're going to chat about what's next with the DGen app. So that'll be Wednesday. We'll be back at our early 8:30 a.m. European friendly time. See, exactly. When she sees yak shit in her wallet, she laughs. There you go. Exactly.
That's priceless, right? Yeah. What would you pay in this world, in this day and age?
Yak shit in your wallet. Isn't it worth a couple dollars? Yeah.
All right. This is why
and I have, speaking of the other token, oi.
Oi.
Get some oi in your wallet. All right.
And by the way, this is why we have not launched a token, if you're wondering. I mean, we have like
100%.
associated, we've experimented with things, but it's like
Yeah.
we haven't really done a project token.
We haven't
for
done a
us.
GM Farcaster token. So if there's one out there, it's not us and we didn't do it.
Well,
So
there's a
don't buy
paragraph
it.
one. I mean,
Besides
it
the
is-
paragraph one.
there's-
That's different. Again, it's something that was
I have a
tied
stream
to
one.
something we were using. No, we don't have a stream one. We only have our own on purpose. Okay. I do actually have a mini app that's launching sometime soon in the next
Yay.
couple days. It will have a token. The token will be useful only in the mini app. Don't go crazy. You're not going to earn generational wealth on it. I'm telling you right now. You've been told. But it'll be fun.
When you buy those tokens for these apps, like think of it like going to the arcade and you put like your $5 in and you get your
Exactly.
quarters and you
Like-
play with them and you're not like, where's my $5 and why
Yeah.
isn't it 20?
Yeah. And if you guys are still holding
That's
something
the
like
way.
Save Holly or Buff or something that I've done before, you're going to get an airdrop of the new token to use in the mini app. So just know that. And you have a mini app you've been experimenting with. It's a lot of fun and word a day. So if you're seeing really weird words and you're like, what is that word? That's probably where it's coming from.
Yes. Why is everyone having a Sublime Saturday?
Sublime Saturday, or, seeing lots of salient points. That might be why.
Lucid
All right.
dreaming yesterday on the timeline.
What's that?
There was a lot of lucid dreaming on the timeline yesterday.
Lucid dreaming. I missed a couple days. I'm like that with word games. Anyway, no crying in the arcade. Everybody have a fabulous day. We will be back Wednesday. We'll see you at 8:30 a.m. Eastern, or catch our recording later for the late sleepers like Burr. I would say the West Coast, but there's no way we're going to see her in 8:30 chat. It's been fabulous hanging with you all. Thank you, Matthew Fox, for jumping on for our Clankercaster Spotlight. That was awesome. Really excited for what's next with Clankermon. And with that, everybody, anything else, Adrienne, before I wrap this up?
No.
All right. And with that, everyone,
It was a fun
was a
one.
fun
And
one.
I just shout out Daniel for giving me a background.
It's amazing. It's perfect. It's perfect.
He's being memed on Farcaster as we speak.
I love it. All right, everybody. We'll
Great.
see you Wednesday. And with that, everyone, bye-bye. Thanks for joining us for this episode of GM Farcaster. And thank you to all our partners and Hypersub supporters bringing this episode to you. Follow the GM Farcaster channel for all the latest updates and add our mini app on Farcaster and the base app. Until next time, bye-bye.